So, if you think you know what this video about to be about, you probably wrong. I ain't here to debate nobody's perspective on who is and who ain't a Hebrew. I'll leave that to the anthropologists in the room. What I'm here to talk about is the Hebrew language itself. So how about an example?
Hey, I'ma lay hands on anybody who wanna spray cans. I'm finna copy and do the rain dance. Praying they probably get a spray tan. Let the sun shine bright at AK, man. Brighter than the pair of Ray-Bans. And a thumb down to the 666. I ain't never been a Drake fan. Run my fade, homie.
So for those who don't know, them lyrics come from a Jered Sanders song. If you don't know who Jered Sanders is, bruh, get your life. But the point is, anybody who's a fan of hip-hop will recognize the art form. You heard clever wordplay, tight, consistent rhyme schemes, and entendres that hit on different levels. But think about how much of that would be lost if you ain't speak no English. You might be able to hit a rhyme scheme, but you wouldn't understand what he was saying. Imagine what would happen if it was translated in a different language. Then you would be able to understand the words, but a lot of the clever wordplay and entendres wouldn't hit right because you don't know what a can is, or who Drake is, or why 666 is significant. To somebody who wasn't a native speaker, the lyrics could very quickly start taking on a different meaning that Jered Sanders didn't even intend for them to have. Somebody could easily try and twist his words up to mean something that he never intended to say. Now take that same concept and stretch it out over hundreds of years, and you start to get an idea of some of the challenges that come with trying to understand a book like the Bible that was originally written in Hebrew, Greek, and a little bit of Aramaic. So before we start really breaking down the ghetto gospel in the upcoming episodes, I'm gonna give you some foundation so you don't have to take my word for it when I'm saying what I'm saying. First, if you don't believe that God is real, you got bigger problems. I ain't gonna tell you not to watch this if you don't believe in God. You just might find my method of presentation entertaining, and if so, more power to you, fam. But generally, folks in the ghetto know God is real. Not just because somebody told them, but because God has showed up in their life when he needed them to. It's hard not to believe in God when he didn't answer the prayer too. But for the rest of y'all who do believe in God, I want to help y'all not to fall into the trap of having somebody tell you something in the Bible that ain't really there, or having somebody tell you that something in the Bible means something that it don't really mean. So back to my hip-hop example. Let's say I played Ether from Nas for some high school sophomores. If they ain't already know, their first questions would probably be, who he talking to? What he talking about? What he meant by Eminem murdered you on your own He talking about Eminem that did that gospel song? Would all be good questions. And that's exactly what you ought to say when somebody tell you the Bible said X, Y, Z. When they said that, who said it? Who was they talking to? What was they talking about? What that meant back then? What that mean in their language? Was they rhyming or just talking? All of that stuff together is called context, and it makes a difference. Because if you ain't got no context, it's easy for people to confuse you, whether by accident or on purpose. And next thing you know, somebody got you thinking you going to hell because you had salt pork and them collard greens last weekend. You're not. So I got maybe two more episodes where I give y'all more foundation before we really start getting into this ghetto gospel. I want to make sure you ain't just listening to me tell you stuff. And I want to make sure you got the tools to sift through a lot of the BS and lies that people be putting out here and claiming to be true. If they ain't got no hard stats, facts, or metrics, well, sure you can find a creative way to tell folks to kick rocks. So that's it for this one. I still ain't got no official outro, so I'm going to just stick with peace, and I hope y'all people straight.